got to get started with the game we just witnessed. Yeah. Colorado against USC. Number 8 ranked USC. Now, SC was favored by 21 and a half coming into this game, and they won 48-41. There was a lot of doubt. There was a lot of question marks for Colorado heading into this game after getting blown out by Oregon last week. And I got to say, this was a great loss for Colorado. And it's not often you can say something like that. But they only lost by 7. It was a huge turnaround, not only from last weekend, but from the first half for Colorado. Like, USC, all the pressure was on USC coming into this game. They are the ranked team. And they did. They came out of the gates. They marched it right down the field, scored on the first drive. Caleb Williams has now had 3 or more touchdown passes in 7 straight games. He is that dude. He is everything and more. I mean, he's the reigning Heisman Trophy winner. And Lincoln Riley coming in last year with Caleb Williams, they just completely turned this USC program around. They are leaps ahead of Colorado, especially coming in and having that opportunity to really turn things around last season. But after seeing this game, Colorado made adjustments and they figured out how to keep up with one of the best teams in the nation.
Yeah, I am surprised at the final score. And like you just said, this was a good loss. And I'm going to be completely honest with you. I didn't think those words would come out of our mouths today.
Yeah.
I really didn't. I thought, not that it was going to be exactly like last week, but I did think SC was going to control the game from beginning to end. And they controlled the first 17 minutes was them. Really. Like the first quarter, them.
Yeah.
Started the second quarter with another touchdown.
Yeah.
And then something happened, and Colorado was like, all right, let's see what we can do.
Yeah.
Typically, you want to see what's being said in the losing locker room. I'm really curious to see what's happening in the winning locker room. Like, they can't be that proud of themselves, right?
No. I mean, you have to remember, this was a star-studded battle.
Right.
Not only the head coaches. You have Lincoln Riley, one of the best in the game. You have Deion Sanders, who has just completely taken over not only college football, but the sports world. You have arguably one of the greatest talents we have seen in a college football quarterback in our generation in Caleb Williams right now, the reigning Heisman Trophy winner. Then you have Shedeur Sanders, Deion's son, quarterback of Colorado, who has just taken the college football world by storm, really proving to be a top draft pick and kind of played himself into the Heisman conversation this season already. And everybody went to work.
Everybody went to work. That's a good way to put it. Especially no Shiloh Sanders.
Yeah.
No Travis Hunter.
Yeah.
Like 2 big pieces here. And yet they were still able to put up 41 points on SC. Like, again, great job at SC. You're still undefeated. But you can't be 100% happy with how this ended.
There are going to be some things to take away from this.
Right. Like, obviously, the good stuff is all for Colorado.
Yeah.
SC, you've got to now really reassess everything.
I think this is where, though, the Coach Prime effect comes into effect. Someone who has been there before at every single level across different sports, has always been doubted, has come into big situations like we saw last week and did not live up to those expectations. He was not going to let that happen again here. Back-to-back weekends. These were the first big tests that we were going to see. And even Brendan Rice, the son of Jerry Rice, he was a transfer from Colorado. He is a wide receiver on USC. He came into this game today, and he told all of his teammates on SC, like, don't take this game lightly. Mm-hmm. Like, the crowd in Boulder is right on top of you. Right on top of you. They are loud. This team is going to come out. He goes, I am excited for the success that Colorado is having. His heart will always be in Colorado. That's where he started his college career. But as he also came and showed out today, getting a touchdown. But it was a really good all-around game.
Totally.
For both sides. But again, we got to talk about Caleb Williams here for a moment. Because Lincoln Riley was talking about him before the game. We heard every broadcaster that's calling one of his games have all kind of agreed that this is a once in a generational talent. He is doing things that we haven't seen a college football quarterback do at this level
consistently
before he's in the NFL. And Lincoln Riley went on to say it's his leadership. He treats every single player on that team, whether you're first, second, third, fourth string, with equal respect. This is a big claim from Lincoln Riley here. He said he's more advanced than Patrick Mahomes.
Ooh.
He said because Mahomes also played baseball. Caleb has been playing quarterback his whole life. But then finally, this is also, there were a couple hot takes here from Lincoln Riley heading into this game. He said, if I was in the NFL, I would lose every game to try to get this kid. He is that good.
But his dad said he's not playing.
So that leads us
So what are we doing here? What are we doing?
That leads us to our next conversation. Because not only have we heard Caleb Williams' father, but we've also heard Deion Sanders both mention that their sons possibly stay in college for another year if one of the top NFL organizations that is known to be dysfunctional has that number 1 overall pick. And we've seen it before. I'll come out. We've seen this before. We saw it with Eli Manning and his dad. We saw it with John Elway and his dad. Both of them ended up getting what they wanted. Both Eli and John ended up being 2-time Super Bowl winning quarterbacks. But the bottom line is the NFL draft system right now is not set up for these top-tier college quarterbacks to succeed. It's not. Now, we've seen it over and over again with these bad franchises getting top picks, right? That's just what it is. That's just what it is right now. And there's an insane amount of pressure from these young quarterbacks to carry a team. Now, do I agree that you should stay in college for another year and not go into the National Football League if you have the opportunity to be a first, second, or third overall draft pick? Personally, no. I think you go to the NFL. But when you look at the last 3 number 1 overall picks, quarterback picks, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let's go through them, okay? You have Joe Burrow with the Bengals. Year 1, tore his ACL 10 games in. Did not have the protection. 2021, most sacked quarterback in the NFL. Trevor Lawrence with the Jags. Also had a dysfunctional coaching situation his first year. Did not turn out very great. He's since turned it around a bit. Bryce Young with the Panthers. We don't know what he can be yet, but there have been a lot of conversations coming out. Cam Newton came out, NFL exec came out saying they're not setting him up for success, and it's going to be a long year if they don't get him that supporting cast. I can see both sides, especially with the fact that these college quarterbacks are making millions of dollars now with the NIL. I can see your face, Monse. You're ready to explode. Just get it out.
Listen, there's just so much to it.
Yeah.
So what is the other option? You want Caleb Williams to go to the best team and sit behind Patrick Mahomes for how many years?
Oh, no.
Right? That would be
not go to the best team.
But this setup, the problem is that people are not seeing is that there is a big jump from college football to the NFL.
Yeah.
There is a big jump. I know this year Alabama has no quarterback, quote unquote.
Yeah.
But a quarterback from Alabama who has the best protection ever, yeah, you're going to get to the NFL and you're going to struggle with a team who doesn't have the best protection.
Yeah.
That's not math. That's just the way it is. It's not difficult to see that it's a big jump and a lot of players aren't ready.
But the other thing is, now that I'm thinking it through, okay, what, you sit out another year, you play another year of college, you make between Shedeur and Caleb Williams, I don't even know what the exact number is, but I feel like it's around $10 million in NIL money between the commercials, all the other stuff that they're doing, somewhere around there. I mean, it's not compared to NFL money, but what, you sit out a year, you're going to come back. You're still going to be a 1, 2, or 3 overall pick, and you're still not going to go to a great team. You're not going to drop in the draft just because you sit out another year.
I agree with that. Yes. So it's the logic is flawed.
It's interesting.
Of not going to the NFL when you can. You take a lot of risk with that. What if you get hurt in your next year in college?
That's the biggest risk.
That's the biggest risk.
That is the number 1 biggest risk. And then you're not getting that first round or team willing to kind of wait because you are that talent. They'll take you injured, but just not the number 1 overall, number 1, number 2, number 3.
I don't like this whole we're not setting them up. It's Joe Burrow is fine. I know he's injured, but I think Joe Burrow, if
he's
you talk
still
to
injured.
him, I think if you talk to him, he'd be like,
well, he's
I'm
that
chilling.
dude. He's that dude. He wants to prove
adversity.
you wrong. He wants you to doubt him. He wants to come in, and he wants to win. And he did. He completely turned that Bengals franchise around.
In a short amount of time.
Oh, yeah.
In a short amount of time, too.
Yeah, if you're that good. Plus, the fact that we're hearing Caleb Williams getting compared to top 5 current NFL quarterbacks, if you're that good, it's time. Right. You got to come in. You got to prove it. You got to start your career.
And with that, so let's say we don't send them to the best team. All right, so you're going to send them to the middle team that maybe you still sit behind a veteran quarterback that knows what they're doing? Like, I just don't see the solution.
It's going to be interesting. And I also think this is going to come down to how their seasons end, how the NFL draft order all comes together. But, I mean, if you have an opportunity to go in the top 5, you go. You go to the NFL draft.
And if I'm an NFL coach on any team, and I'm hearing that this young guy doesn't want the challenge, doesn't want the adversity.
Yeah, not a great look.
Bye. Thank you so much.
Not a great look.
Next time.
And again, these are their fathers talking for them. Right. So also, like,
and Deion said it a little bit differently, too.
If your kid, he just doesn't want to be number 2.
He said it a little bit differently,
to Caleb Williams. But again, like, and then you might go to a better team. You got to think about that. But at the end of the day, it's up to these college quarterback, top tier quarterbacks, what they want to do. Yeah. And that's what it's got to be at the end of the day. Not your dad's choice, not your family's choice. It's got to be up to you.